In 1954, a year before his death, Albert Einstein gave an interview that was never meant to be revealed. Hidden for decades, it was discovered in 2022 within the lost archives of his close friend, Dr. Kurt Gödel, in a manuscript found in a safe's double bottom at Princeton. The document began with a warning. These confessions may change humanity or destroy it. What follows is the account of that conversation, a profound reflection from one of history's greatest minds on life, death, and what lies beyond. The journalist, whose identity remains unknown, began with a daring question. Professor Einstein, do you believe in the continuation of life after death? A long silence followed. Einstein smiled faintly. To believe is not the right word. At my age, I prefer to know. The journalist, taken aback, pressed on. But science, your science, has always denied the existence of the soul. Einstein's eyes sharpened. Not my science. Science, as understood by the masses, is limited to what can be measured. It's blind to what doesn't fit into equations. Listen carefully. What I'm about to say must remain between us until humanity is ready. Life does not end with death. This is not a hypothesis. It's a fact I've come to understand, not through physics, but by examining the mathematical structures of time and space. The journalist struggled to process this. Are you speaking of the soul, of heaven? Einstein shook his head. I speak of continuation, of transformation. Picture a wave on the ocean. While the wind blows, the wave exists. When the wind stops, the wave vanishes, but the water remains. Human consciousness is that wave. The body is its temporary form. When the body dies, consciousness doesn't cease. It returns to the ocean. The room grew quiet as the journalist absorbed the weight of these words. How does this align with your theory of relativity? He asked. Einstein's face lit up. Relativity deals with matter and energy, but there's another element that eludes equations: the observer. Consciousness is not a byproduct of matter. It's primary. The universe exists because it is perceived. This is an ancient truth mystics intuited, but I reached it through mathematics. The double-slit experiment, quantum entanglement, these point to a profound reality. Consciousness shapes existence. After death, it doesn't vanish. It returns to the source, to pure perception. The journalist leaned forward. And God? Do you believe in God? Einstein's gaze softened. God is not a person, not an old man on a cloud. God is the ocean itself, the collective consciousness of all beings. No one who has ever lived is truly gone. Death is not an end. It's a return home. The wind outside rumbled, and the journalist shivered. Professor, how can a scientist of your stature claim something so metaphysical? Einstein leaned forward, his voice firm. This isn't faith, it's knowledge. My work on the unified field theory revealed a structure connecting matter, energy, and consciousness. Beyond the atom is emptiness. Beyond emptiness, vibrations. Beyond vibrations, mind. He continued, referencing the Einstein-Podolsky-Rosen paradox. Quantum entanglement shows that particles, once connected, remain linked across any distance. If particles can be bound beyond space, why not consciousness beyond death? Consciousness is non-local, not confined to the brain. The brain is merely an antenna, a receiver. Death disconnects the channel, but the signal, the ether, persists, like radio waves after the receiver breaks. The journalist's hand trembled as he wrote. Why speak of this now? He asked. Einstein's voice grew quiet. Time is running out. I'm at the threshold, and this truth must not die with me. Humanity is on the cusp of a great discovery. Death is not the enemy, but a transition. Yet, if this truth is revealed too soon, it could be twisted for power or control. That's why I've stayed silent. But the era of materialism is fading. Soon, science and spirituality will converge, and a new path will open. The clock struck midnight, its chimes echoing like a cosmic affirmation. Einstein continued, "What awaits us after death depends on our awareness. Those who lived for selfishness or power remain tethered to lower realities, wandering among shadows of their past. Those who sought truth, who loved, who served, they ascend, merging with the source, finding peace and a new beginning. I suspect the cycle continues. Consciousness returns to learn, to grow, to bring light." The journalist whispered, "Rebirth?" Einstein nodded. "But not automatic. It's a choice. Free will is the highest law. When consciousness is ready, it can break the cycle, achieving what the ancients called liberation. Individuality doesn't die. It dissolves into an ocean of light, without fear, without pain, only love." He gazed out the window at the dark sky. "We are all travelers. Death is not a wall. It's a door." The journalist couldn't resist one more question. "Why don't other great minds speak of this? Why the silence?" Einstein's smile was tinged with sadness. "The truth is too simple and too dangerous. Scientists fear ridicule. Religions fear losing authority. Politicians fear losing control. Truth is free, and those who rule fear freedom. Newton, Planck, Tesla, they knew or suspected. Even Darwin, in his final years, sensed something greater than chance behind evolution. But they spoke in riddles, or stayed silent. I've been silent too until now, as my body weakens and my spirit prepares for transition." The journalist's heart raced. Einstein went on, "My equation, E-mc2, showed mass and energy are equivalent. But there's another level I've never shared publicly. Consciousness is energy, a subtle form that transforms after death. In other dimensions, it's called soul, Atman, a quantum of consciousness. Names don't matter. What matters is that it endures. All who have lived exist in other states, their thoughts and experiences preserved in a vast field. Some call it the Akasha. We're connected to it always. Intuition, déjà vu, premonitions. These are echoes of that connection." The journalist nodded, recalling his own inexplicable moments. "But why suffering? Illness, loss?" Einstein's gaze was steady. "Suffering is a school. Without pain, consciousness cannot grow. Just as muscles strengthen through strain, the spirit grows through trials. Every life is a lesson, even the hardest. When we leave, much will become clear, and we'll see no one was ever truly alone. All paths lead to unity." The clock struck. 1. Einstein's tone grew urgent. "Humanity is dividing. Technology advances, but morality lags. People see enemies, not reflections of themselves. This is perilous. If we don't recognize our shared nature, we may not survive the next century. We must choose, accept that we are one, or face destruction. That's why I'm speaking now. Let my words be a reminder. The enemy is ignorance. Knowledge is light, and light conquers darkness." The journalist fought back tears. "Pass this on to those ready to hear," Einstein said. "Don't force it. Each must find the truth themselves. The question isn't what awaits after death, it's how we live before it. Love is the only reality that endures." He paused, then added, "Is there a way to prove consciousness continues after death? The scientific method demands measurability, but some truths are proven by their existence. Memories of past lives in children, near-death experiences, quantum entanglement, these are clues. Science denies them, but denial isn't refutation. Quantum physics has cracked the wall of materialism. Time isn't absolute. Space isn't empty. Matter is an illusion. In the future, devices will measure consciousness fields after death. It's a matter of time." He leaned back, eyes distant. "Even if proof comes, it won't solve the real task, changing how we live. Knowing death isn't the end should inspire us to elevate our actions. If everyone understood that thoughts and deeds persist in a unified field, the world would transform. But is humanity ready? The door creaked open. The housekeeper, a woman in black, stepped in. "Professor, it's late. You need rest." Einstein nodded but held the journalist's gaze. "I'm tired. The body fails, but the spirit is ready. If someone reads this in 10, 20, 100 years, let them know I was no mystic. I was a seeker. Truth belongs to those who seek." He stood slowly. "This isn't goodbye forever. We'll meet where all paths converge. Death is awakening for those ready to see." Their handshake was warm, firm. "Protect the light," Einstein whispered. "The world isn't ready, but the time will come." He turned to the window, where dawn's first light glowed. "In my youth, I thought discovering the universe's laws was paramount. But the hardest task is understanding oneself, our connection to others. Science can be grasped, but life's meaning, each must find it." The journalist closed his notebook, overwhelmed. "Thank you, Professor. I'll preserve your words." Einstein smiled, warm but weary. "Not to repeat, but to reflect. Live not in fear, but in search. That's what matters." The journalist stepped into the morning chill. The door closed softly behind him. He walked down an alley, spring leaves budding, and wrote in his notebook, "It doesn't matter what awaits later. What matters is what we do now." He never opened it again. Einstein's words lingered, a quiet whisper against the dawn. The thrush sang on, heralding a new day, as the professor's confession settled into the world's unwritten memory, waiting for those ready to hear. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel. We share conversations like this every week, real, honest, uplifting topics that honor who you are and help you live your fullest life, no matter your age.